Good day. This is the GPP, the Guyanese People Partnership message to the nation for 2013 Mashramani celebration. Yes, we are sure that, and we encourage all Guyanese to have fun, to have a good time, to enjoy the celebration because everyone deserves it. You deserve it as a people. We have worked very hard the past year, and we know everyone will enjoy themselves as they should. But the GPP would like to encourage our people in the midst of our Republic Day celebration to remember the larger picture, to remember that there are issues and problems within the country that we need to fix and we need to resolve. We have come a long way as a country. We actually see the landscape of the country changing at a very dramatic pace, and we think this is an encouraging sign. We would like to say that in the society, a lot of people will have a very good time on Mashramani Day. But there's people in the society who will not. There is homeless people among us. There is the destitute among us. There is street children. There's a lot of crime in the country. We fundamentally we think that these are related to certain social issues and certain economic issues that we think needs to be resolved as soon as possible, or our society could possibly disintegrate. There's no guarantee of stability, economic, politically, and social stability in a country if certain forces get out of control. Then we could see the fault lines break in our country, and we could see our very beautiful Guyana disintegrate into let us remind you that there's places right now, if we look at Syria, if we look at many places in the Middle East where there's turmoil, where there's fires, where there's confusion, where there's political upheaval, where there's civil war in the country. Why? Because certain economic issues, certain social issues were not being addressed by the people in power. So the citizens felt it necessary, felt that they were forced to take certain actions into their own hands. And we hope that our beautiful land of Guyana does not reach that point. But we think that there is a possibility, there's no guarantee of stability. There is a possibility that if certain economic issues are not resolved, certain social issues are not resolved in the country, that our country might reach the fault line. Let's not forget the crime wave of from 2004 to basically 2009. Let's don't forget what happened then. And those were related to certain economic issues, certain political issues that weren't resolved. We would like to see our opposition in the country represent the interests of the people and not represent interest of vindictiveness, not represent interest of basically the crabs in the barrel. A man or a woman is trying to climb the ladder, and all the rest of the crabs in the barrel are trying to pull them down. We don't think that's what politics should be like in Guyana. We think the opposition and the government should be representing the issues of working class people in this country, should be representing the issue of poor people in the country. There's a lot of poor people in Guyana. There's a lot of people still fetching water in buckets in our 21st century. There's a lot of people still living without lights, without access to electricity. We have there's people cannot get access to certain economic access to loans, whether it's because of race or socio-economic, where they live or their age. And we think these issues needs to be resolved. We think poor people should have access to the banks. They're building all these banks in Guyana, huge, massive structures that the average citizen we don't step foot in there. Why are they building it? We are citizens of this country. Are they not building it for us, or are they building it for outside people? If they're building it for outside people, then we think you should break it down, because we think all the banks in Guyana should service Guyanese citizens. Like I said, poor people can't get access to loans. Our opposition should be fighting for that. Old people cannot make it on $10,000 a year. We think our representatives should be fighting for more money, more than $10,000. Let's try to get it to $15,000. Right now, we see in the States, during Barack Obama's State of the Union address, he proposed raising the minimum wage to $9 US approximate for workers in the States. We think we should try something similar over here also, although there were some attempts to raise the minimum wage. If you actually, if thousands of workers were affected by this in the country, a $10 increase, that is laughable. That is a joke. That is an insult. That is a slap in the face to workers, thousands of workers in Guyana. And we think it has to do with the docility, the docileness of our people. Whatever handout they get, they take, and they take it as that. And we think that's unacceptable. The GPP is standing up for workers, and we're saying a $10 increase is completely ludicrous. Completely ludicrous and completely ridiculous in this time and age to be giving workers in a whole industry $10 an hour. $10 an hour increase. We think it's complete stupidity, and we don't think the people should accept it. We have 10% of the people in our country controlling the wealth of the nation. The average citizen, we have less than 1 million people. We have the land space larger than England. You know how much England makes a year, how much their GDP is as a country? Well, I won't even say the figure, because you can't compare it. England is a modernized, industrialized country, and Guyana is a third world country, so you can't really compare the GDP. It is like comparing a man who has all his bodily physical functions in place to someone who is in a wheelchair. It's no comparison. But what we do, the point I'm trying to make is that why is it that we have so much land and we have less than so little amount of people in the country, and a large percent of the citizens cannot access land? And we cannot say this is simple stuff, right? Some people like to say people are stupid, people are lazy. People are not stupid. The average person in this country is not stupid and lazy. If you go into the Ministry of Housing to apply for house lot, you fill out the application, right? And they are processing you. Okay, let's say you come back in 6 months, right? They tell you when you come back in 6 months to check on the status of your application. They tell you, oh, we are processing for 2009. The average citizen have to wait more than 5 years to get a house lot. What sort of crookedness is that? What sort of scampishness is that going on by the Ministry of Housing and Water? Why is it that citizens, there's less than 1 million of us in this country, then, in spite of that, it's not 700,000 people applying for a house lot, because a lot of our citizens are children. They haven't even reached the age where they can access land. So if you actually think about the amount of people in the country that's actually applying for land, it's probably into the thousands. And why is it that the ministry cannot give out house? Who are they giving out house lot to? Because I know personally, a lot of people who have waited more than 6 years to get a house lot. Lands and survey is the same thing. You go in there, you go through the process, you go through the procedure to get a piece of land, and it's basically the same thing. They give you the runaround, and they don't give you anything. They have people sitting on land right now they cannot get titles for that, so that they're doing basic farming, and they cannot get access loans to get equipment to develop their farms. We think this is unacceptable. We think that Lands and Survey should process those lands so that those people can get a piece of paper to go into the bank to get a loan, so that they could get more machines to develop their land in a more in this technological age. We can use more machines, we can use more technology in order to produce more on the land, right? So we see that there is fundamental issues, and like the GPP is probably only group right now representing this land issue, right? And we think it's an important one because basically poor people want to better themselves in this country, and without land you cannot really better yourself, right? And we think the people that want to own land or want to get access to land, that the government should encourage it, not discourage it like they're doing right now. Because although they put out a lot of propaganda saying that thousands of people get house lots, thousands of people get house lots, right? It is just propaganda, because it is difficult to get a house lot in the country. It is difficult to get land in the country because the government is hoarding the land. That is what they're doing. They're hoarding the land. They are not making it possible for people in the country that don't own land to own land. And we think this is, the GPP thinks this is unacceptable. We would like to keep it light because it is Mashomani. We hope everyone enjoy themselves. We remind you that the GPP loves you. The GPP is fighting for all Guyanese. Our vision and our hope is that in 30 years our country can become an industrialized, developed, first-class nation, competitive in South America, competitive in the Caribbean. One of the things that I recently saw on the television was basically an interview with a group of government officials and a reporter, and Gail Tashiro said that it is good to have they were talking about the Marriott controversy with the fact that a lot of them are not Guyanese workers. The GPP agrees. We think every project that Guyanese workers need to be there. As a government, we shouldn't be entering into deals, into agreements in which our workers are not doing the building, right? They're giving us loans, we have to pay back the loans, right? So we are going to pay back the loans, right? But we we Guyanese workers have to build it. If foreign workers are necessary, then there's no problem with that. But you cannot say that an entire project there's going to be no Guyanese workers, or Guyanese workers are going to be 10%. You know, that's complete lunacy. Uh, you know, that's and that's our government enter into in some sort of insane deal where they're not representing the issues of Guyanese. But one thing she said that was correct, that as a country we should have an open immigration process, meaning that we should encourage educated people to come over here in Guyana and work, come over here in Guyana and build a life. Because, like I said, we have less than 1 million people. The amount of work that is going to take to build out our country, to develop this country to the next level is is probably beyond our manpower wise as a country. We're short. We're undermanned. So it is okay for us to encourage workers, educated, skilled workers, to come live in the country, to migrate over here. There's some Guyanese, no matter what you say, they're going to migrate. They're going to the U.S. They're going to England. It doesn't matter how much opportunities we have here in this country. They just want to live in a new place. They just want greener pasture, and that's okay too. We're not going to stop anyone from migrating, but as a country, we should have an open immigration policy where we encourage skilled workers to come live inside of the country. We think that's a good thing. Obviously, we would protect our country constitutionally, would protect our government constitutionally, so that foreign people does not control our government, does not control our military, does not control our police force. Is control. Those are the power structures in the country. We have to make sure that as Guyanese we control those and stay in control of those institutions. So for this Mash Romani, the GPP wishes everyone a good day. Have fun, be safe, and we should all remember, like Burnham said, we are indeed one people, one nation, one destiny. Thank you.